it's Freya, wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. So October is soon to end, but I hope if you guys have been participating in Inktober in any way, shape, or form, I hope that's been going well for you. But I wanted to revisit my little mini-series of trying to draw with pen only, and what better time to do that than the month of Inktober itself. First video I highlighted friction pens, which are my favorite pens to use because they are erasable, so it makes it quite easy for you to draw and like cover up your mistakes. The second video featured ballpoint pens, which are kind of like a world favorite. I feel like they're just really nice to sketch anything with. It's very comfortable, it's very versatile. Alas, we've run out of conveniences and it is time to sketch with simple, bold, dark pen. Simple ink, straight up. I think I can do it. I think it'll be fine. Let's just go for it. I'm gonna try to keep this video real time. We're gonna see if that happens or not. Right now it's relatively quiet. Hopefully my fan or computer fan isn't too loud. I'm mostly just worried for like background noises that I don't have control over. So if the time comes, we tried, you know? You can see right here I am using a side sketchbook that I've probably featured like here and there throughout a couple of videos in the past. It's just a simple little small sketchbook that I have yet to like fill out, but I really like the size of it because it just makes it convenient to draw in without having to take up a ton of space. I also feel like the paper is like fairly enjoyable to draw on, like it's very smooth and everything. This kind of reminds me of my hidden sketchbooks where it's like I don't necessarily show it to anyone, I'm mostly just like drawing in them and keeping my doodles very like organic and simple and silly. It's a lot more lax than my main sketchbook, so I think that's a good place for me to test out drawing pen only doodles. So I'm going to be drawing in the sketchbook today because I feel like it's comfy and a nice size and it's like no hard feelings if I mess up. In fact, I'm probably going to do a test run, and if the first page doesn't come out how I want, then we can just act like it didn't happen and I'll show the second one only. Before I fully dive in, I just want to talk about the pens that I will be using. So these are the pens that I've chosen for standby or to use throughout the video. Some of them are probably already featured in other videos, and I can always talk about it as I go, but I mostly kind of want to stick to like traditional pens, like just regular office type pens, as opposed to like fine liner based pens, but these work perfectly fine for sketching as well. Oftentimes I feel like because they're just fine liners, I only associate them with line art, and realistically you can use these for sketching too, so figure out which one I want to start with, to be honest. Probably my favorite, not my favorite necessarily, but I do really like Muji. Before I get started on anything, I do need to drink some water, so I advise you to do the same as well. So I'm gonna likely do some references from Pinterest because I feel like my brain is a little bit not necessarily burnt out, but it's like I've used a lot of like creative mental energy lately, so I feel so nervous. I just need to go for it. Okay. Okay, so starting out, generally there's two ways I could do this. I could draw simply what I see without drawing the guidelines, because the thing is like drawing the guidelines I'm sure makes it look less appealing, but some people feel like it doesn't really matter, and I kind of feel similar. It depends. For my own sake of drawing in my sketchbook, I feel like I don't really care if I draw the guidelines with a pen. But on the other hand, you can also argue that not drawing the guidelines will help you sort of like get the form down better because you're not planning out the steps, you're just jumping into it. So the mistakes you make you can just learn from. Just gonna draw this person that I'm referencing from, or it's kind of like a direct reference. I'm not... We'll see if I change any of the features, but I thought I had a black emoji, but I guess I didn't. I'm kind of bummed out. I just did a video of me doing 3 different little mini illustrations, I guess. All of them I sketched first, of course. I don't really care about the whole like, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to like sketch the drawing before you draw it. Like that's what, 1, that's what this video is all about. I'm not sketching anything in this one, but 2, just let people have fun how they want. I don't know. I don't think it's that serious. I do understand the benefits of the challenge because I've talked about using like the benefits of using pen only, but it's by no means like end all be all if you don't. Because in my case, I just wanted to really practice using inks, and so that was more, the emphasis was more on line art than it was like being able to draw from pen only and not sketching at first. So I'm gonna try not to talk too much because sometimes I like keep in mind that I'm making a real-time video, and so I just keep yapping to try to make it interesting, but then I feel like I have to include it all in instead of just cutting it out and losing context on things, and that's how these end up like a lot longer than I want them to be. Another thing that happens is I like bring up topics and then I don't always go back to them, so it's kind of just like left unanswered in the video, and I'm like, well, I hope nobody asked about that. And honestly, like, I would definitely say this is more sketching than like properly drawing. It is fun to sketch with a pen though. I'm gonna give them a little nose band-aid thing. I like the ability to like make those really thin lines and like slowly build up if I want. I just feel like I can get the details that I want. And I noticed while like doing some test drawings that Muji does have like a little bit of like drop off kind of, like whenever I put the ink down and there's like that little dot that starts before like the actual stroke of ink. That does happen, but for some reason, I don't know, I don't really like, it doesn't bother me too much with Muji. I think I'm spending too long on this first sketch, might be, but I don't really have like I don't really have much planned at all this time around. I'm kind of just like, I wanted to draw with pen only and I wanted to try doing it in real time, and I'm looking at Pinterest references. That's about it. Okay, well that's one down. I feel like I do a lot of like random lines on the edge of a paper, but it's because I'm trying to test stuff. Something about using pen is just so scary though. It's like, wow, I could really just ruin everything and then it's like that forever. But like, it's not that serious, you know? I know I said I wouldn't talk too much, but I also feel like I'm talking too little now. Which is kind of just like me in a nutshell. I'm either yapping or like, you're never gonna hear me speak again. There's really not an in-between, unfortunately. It already looks so weird without eyebrows. It's kind of terrifying. I was low-key gonna make this Mira one of my OCs, but because the guy's haircut kind of reminds me of Mira's. I do want to draw my OCs more though. I'm like constantly caught between OCs and fan art because I really do enjoy both. It's just fan art I'm a lot more shy with, I guess. There's been a lot of things I've been wanting to do fan art of lately. I could heat up my tea because I finally got a mug warmer and I feel like it's been kind of life-changing, because beforehand I was just like, I have an electric kettle in my room, so all I have to do really is like heat up some water and then I would pour it into my tea, but obviously after you do that like 2 to 3 times, it's mostly just like this weird watery disgusting mixture and it's not really good. So I didn't think I'd be out here giving them earrings, but here we go. Like, I've been starting to draw hands more unprompted lately. It's probably because the other day I did like a whole deep dive on hands. But I think I've said this lately before, like, I'm not really as satisfied with just drawing people anymore, or like right now. Like, I want to spice it up a bit. I don't know if that means I draw like a monster truck in the background or what, but like also this pen I'm using is called Acroball. It's by Pilot. It's kind of like a 3-way type pen. Why am I so sleepy? It's like, yeah, it's 4 p.m. that's why. I'm literally so tired for no reason. Dang it, my camera cut out. So unfortunately when my camera cuts out, it ends up deleting, or not necessarily deleting, but corrupting the file that I was recording in the process when it cut out. So you kind of missed this entire like shading in of colors, sorry. Basically I was just saying that generally, again, similar to Muji, it just kind of helps get these simple straight lines that are like thin, so I can build up texture that's, oh god, it's not focusing. I'm dead inside. This is why filming is like, I can't believe it wasn't even focusing all that time. Are you kidding me? I just talked for like 30 seconds without it focusing. Oh my goodness. I'm going insane. I'm kind of gonna just start like doodling. I hope y'all don't mind. I feel like I needed to cope with my emotions and chaos right now. But yeah, I like this pen so far. Using it again to sketch, I feel like it just works very nicely. I do feel like I prefer like a more thin barrel to hold pens with and really just any kind of art utensil. But I mean, this works fine. Should add a little bunny hanging on to his shoulder. It's nice to like add something nonsensical every now and then, you know? I want to give the bunny shades. It's such a small thing, but it gave me so much joy. Okay, should I switch pens? I feel like just switching pens each drawing, I feel like that's gonna make it a little bit more dynamic. Which kind of reminds me of my silent studies videos, which I feel like I need to get back to. Because it's been quite a while since I've done the last one, huh? I feel like for some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like December is gonna be a lot of me just doing a bunch of studies. The pen that I'm using right now is called, what is it? Pentel Energy Gel, or Energel Liquid. I kind of just picked it because it flows somewhat decently and is decent to hold. Like, it's nothing to rave about, but it is kind of nice. I also thought about December being some time to catch up on some comfort art, like just art for myself, because I do feel like I miss that. I've done a little bit of comfort art lately, but not like a ton. A lot of it has been me trying to catch up and try to get ahead on video content. Wait, let's make this more interesting and give her arm warmers. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden I'm just like so dead. I'm so sorry. I think it's my brain wasn't really prepared for like real-time content. I kind of just like thrust the idea upon myself since it's like fairly quieter right now. Which isn't really a thing to go off of because again, I feel like the sound can go from like 0 to 100. But I think I'm just kind of like tired. I'm getting like the daytime fatigue because I'm not a daytime person at all. These hands look very atrocious, but we don't have to talk about it, you know what I mean? Like we could just be like, yeah, that was the thing that she did, but I think I'm done with this drawing too. Wow, stuff really is just like finishing up. There's like a burger and some fries here, so maybe I'll draw that too. I was saying I wasn't creatively burnt out that bad, but at the same time I'm kind of just like, my brain really is like head empty, no thoughts. I just know for a fact that I do a lot better at night. I really have wanted to mess up my sleep schedule and just like be on a really unhinged schedule where I'm up at like 3 to 5 a.m. and stuff. Mostly because I just feel more productive that way. I feel like I can focus on things a lot more. I don't even know what it is, and I don't even know when this has happened, like when my nocturnal lifestyle came into play. It might just be something that I was born with. I don't know. What else? I need to fill this little space right here, but there's not really anything else. A part of me is like, just draw an eye like you normally do, but I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I should do something like inventive. I don't know. You know what? We're just doing doodles anyways, so I might as well just kind of have fun with it. Let's just draw and chat. It's probably been a while since I've done a draw with me, huh? You keep forgetting like that really is the joy of using a pen. I feel like I have these natural vampiristic traits. I don't know, I just feel like something about me feels very vampire. I don't know if it's like the avoiding sunlight thing. the need for blood, you know, because I'm iron deficient. Get it? I'm kidding. Well, I am, but I don't know what I planned for this to be, but this is like even more disturbing somehow. I will say that's where like drawing with pen really comes into play, because sometimes it like forces you to draw like just random silly stuff because you can. And did I talk about this pen already? This pen is fairly comfortable, as you can see, to just kind of like, again, get those like thin, any pen I can like do the hatching with like this, I'm like, okay, yeah, work. That's everything that I want, everything that I need. But no, we need to figure out what we're gonna draw on the next page, because I need to like actually draw something. I feel like I haven't drawn anything cool yet, I don't know. I mean, not that I have to. I feel like something that I've been coming to terms with is like not every video is going to be a banger, you know? Especially if I just continue to do YouTube videos, like obviously there's gonna be some variation and energy because I'm human. That said, there are videos where I'm like, oh heck yeah, this is like iconic and amazing, but they're kind of like seen as mid by the algorithm, so I'm like, oh. Okay, I'm gonna color in these ghosts, and on the next page what I can try to do is a little bit more serious doodles. One last little ghosty. It's kind of fun to make the ghosts black. Again, I think it's like this is like the energy that the sketchbook has, is like to just doodle, and honestly I don't hate it. I think it's kind of fun. I didn't draw anything over here, should I change that? What if I drew a pumpkin? Except I'm totally just kidding, and now it's a pumpkin jellyfish. Like, I wasn't expecting jack-o'-lantern jellyfish to go so hard, but here we are. It's kind of a fun little concept. For some reason I want to give it a top hat, even though that doesn't make any sense, but neither does a pumpkin jellyfish. We're just here. What to draw on the next spread? Here, this one I will give a top hat. I just think a top hat feels so... something about it I'm associating with Halloween, and again, I don't know why. Does Jack Skellington wear a top hat? I don't think he does. I think he just has like that really snazzy looking suit. Snazzy jellyfish pumpkin. Also, I always kind of like wing the... I think they're not tentacles. What are they? Like the little jellyfish appendages? I just kind of like make them up. Like I don't put too much thought in them. I have drawn jellyfish before, but each time I just kind of like have fun whenever it comes to that part of them. That's a page done. We can call the video here, guys. You know, thanks a lot. I'm kidding. This spread done. Or like, again, I don't know if people consider this page to be a spread or like both these pages as one spread. Somebody let me know, please. I feel like I'm kind of left out on the thought process on that. Okay, so now we're gonna try to draw without using the whole like little guideline stuff going on here. What am I gonna start with? I think I'm gonna start with this, which is a Pilot juice pen. I think the main thing stopping me from messing up my schedule the way I want to is, since I'm on a job search, I want to make sure that I stay within like the typical like office hour type of functioning, even though it doesn't really work super well for me. Because honestly, I only get up at 8 AM because the world kind of functions that way. And because I like the number 8, but other than that, I would not be doing that. But because this job search has been so ongoing, a part of me is kind of like, look, unless I have like an actual interview or something scheduled, I really might just be better off trying to function at night. I don't mean to give him lipstick, but at the same time, like, slay, you know what I mean? I cooked shrimp alfredo the other day, so I can have that, but let's draw a halo. A halo feels so trademark to me. Also, rip my foot falling asleep. I have this issue where I feel like I have to sit on my foot whenever I'm at my desk or like in any chair, Oftentimes I guess because like I'm trying to sit higher and get like a higher perspective, but oftentimes my foot falls asleep like a lot and it feels very unnerving. We love a spiked collar, don't we, fellas? I don't know who fellas is, but also I keep wanting to do shading with this pen, but like I get nervous because I'm like, what if I mess up? Like with all these pens, I really do generally want to do shading, but the thing with shading with a pen and it's not ballpoint is like, it's kind of hard because the marks are very much like blunt. Like how do you suddenly try to add shading? Okay, there we go. A nice little emo for y'all. And whenever I say y'all, I mean me, because honestly, I will die with this aesthetic. A part of me is kind of like, should I shade in the way that their hair looks? Because in this photo, this person's hair is like two-toned, almost. It's like the top part is black and the part underneath is red. It'll give me more cross-hatching to do, or just hatching, I guess. It makes it aesthetically pleasing. I don't even know why. It's just a bunch of lines together, but it just, something about it makes my brain so happy. It feels so, like, organized in there all of a sudden. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with the eyes. Sometimes I like leaving the eyes just like that. Like, no kind of expansion, no shading, no anything. It's just like that. At most, underneath. I do have a habit of, like, adding in too much under eye bag, or I guess eyeliner on the lower lid. It's just kind of a look, you know? Oh, actually, I was gonna make them like a wolf boy, because in the photo that I'm looking at, two different photos, and one of them is like this guy with what looks like wolf ears on, and like, you know what, we're not gonna elaborate on that. Let me just go next. Okay, right, so this was me using the Pilot Juice pen. You can kind of see why I like using it. Again, it's very similar to Muji. Dare I say it's even better than Muji because of its like cleanness. And both of these are in like 0.38 on terms of size. Honestly, it's not entirely difficult to draw without putting the guidelines down first. It's just obviously you have a chance of messing something up a lot more. Like whenever I don't use the guidelines, something is usually just slightly off, just a little bit. This next drawing is a little bit more outfit based, which is fun because I always love an outfit, you know? Now, Micron, I kind of have beef with, to be honest, because I used to think that these pens were the world. And I think I'm mostly using them here to try to like stand by what I said on fine liners being perfectly normal to draw with as well, or sketch with, instead of like solely keeping it for line art. It's fun to like low-key change aspects of a reference. I feel like I've gotten so used to it that like it's hard for me to ever really draw a reference as I oftentimes it's just like me changing the characteristics or features of someone to make it a little bit more diverse depending on like the model that I'm using. But oftentimes it's just me like slightly changing the outfit or the hairstyle a little bit, and I have a lot of fun with that. Oh, this would have been cute with like my little dot eyebrows, but it's too late, I think. And doing the noses and pen is so incredibly difficult for me because like, for me, even though my style is a little bit more anime than realistic, I do generally still like to make sure the nose is like kind of there, like included, instead of just like putting a dot. But like a lot of the way that I illustrate a nose is like through shading, like gentle, subtle shading, as opposed to like just fully drawing it. So because I normally do the nose that way with like just that subtle shading, pens obviously they're not subtle. The ink is there once you place it down. So if I'm not using ballpoint pen, it gets kind of like intensive. So that's why I try to just stick to like the 2 dots. I know some people just do like a little line as well. It's the same thing with blush too. I feel like oftentimes I add all those lines on the blush because oftentimes the blush that I do tends to be subtle. Again, I know you can do like the 3 little lines, the 3 little anime lines, but generally I like the blush to be like a subtle glow. But again, whenever I use pen, can't really be subtle, so it ends up being all these little lines. And it looks odd, but I don't know, something about it. I feel like I have to do it most of the time. Again, I used to think Micron was like the best of the best on terms of fine liners. Like I've used them for years, or I've bought them for years, but I don't know if I ever really took time to like use them thoroughly or something, because they're not really the best. I mean, and that's okay, you know, that's fine. I don't think they're an awful product. It's just, my exposure to other brands over the years and stuff, also the fact that we've just had a lot of newer, more affordable brands come in, it really gives them a run for their money. This outfit is so freaking cute, oh my gosh. It's like this little, like, bunny one piece, or like a bunny overall type pinafore situation. It's really cute. But yeah, Micron, I feel like the nib itself isn't as sturdy and stable as it could be. There's smearing, which yes, even whenever I do wait for it to dry, it smears with water and alcohol marker. There's much to improve on, basically. Because even the way that it draws, like I said, I know you can use fine liners for sketching, and I definitely advocate for that, but in this case, it's just like, I feel like there's like, it's too easy to get inconsistent lines. That's fine, but yeah, I think I mostly got Micron because I believed that they would work well for line art, and also just because I think whenever I really started working in my sketchbook again, I got a bunch of Microns because, I don't know, I really don't. I guess I thought I was going to be doing a lot of, like, illustrations, like alcohol marker drawings, and I thought that these would work well for the line art. This is Max Kawaii right here. Again, it hasn't done a horrible job. I feel like, for the most part, it gets the job done, but again, I feel like something about it, they're just like, it feels like there's streakiness naturally and all that. I don't know. I think I might come around to them, but basically they're just not my favorite anymore. I think that's the most important part. Because again, it's not even bad for them to like not be the best of the best, because I found new supplies that I like. And the thing is Micron comes from the Pigma Sakura brand, I think. And Pigma, I have some that I got from Japan that like work amazing. So I guess it just depends on which one you're getting. Oh right, I gotta draw her hand. My bad. Oh my gosh. Just casually handless. And I think I wanted to add little hearts to this dress, question mark? So yeah, I feel like I realized I could do better than Micron, but I still have like a ton of them left over, so I definitely am gonna use them. It's just probably for a little bit more like nonchalant drawings. If you don't want it to look too dark, then don't add too many lines next to each other. That's how you can sort of change the depth of it, I guess. Like lighten the values. Because the closer the lines are together, the darker it's going to appear. Of course, the more far away the lines are, it's gonna look like, I guess, more obvious that they're lines, but I feel like that doesn't matter at this point. I feel like it's kind of hard to color in with pen any other way than cross-hatching. especially if it's like a large area and you have like a small pen. So speaking of, I found out over time, and also with like all the recent Inktober engagement I've been doing in my sketchbook and stuff, I think 01 and .38 on terms of like a pen is like my typical go-to. Like that's what I would really like. I used to think it was 005, but that's a little bit too small. I don't remember which pen I was going to draw. Oh, right. I think I'm going to use this, which is fairly new. I actually just bought this pen, like, I think 2 days ago from Michael's. I got it in a set of 3, but I believe in these Tombow mono drawing pens. I feel like they're pretty nice to use. Haven't used it for just casual sketching yet. I only used it for line art, so let's see how this goes. I feel like the one way I can get away with not doing the guidelines is just doing the outline of the face, even though it's like wonky, because this line doesn't really matter since it's where the hair is gonna go. Honestly, even though October is gonna be ending soon, I still want to do tons of like ink related things, because there were some things that I didn't really get around to doing. Honestly, I feel like a lot of this month was me just trying to like survive. Even if I did get around to things that I wanted to do, ink is simply just really fun, and it's like I forget that fact every year until I get to using it again. Because I don't normally go out of my way to use ink. I wanted to do some redraws of some older Inktober prompts that I've done. So I'd like to do that. Let's see, have I given someone a cat mouth yet? I don't think so. So here we go. That looks derpy. And I just realized how off-center their chin is. But you know what? We're gonna just like act like we don't see that. But yeah, that's all of this is why I feel like people should just draw whatever they feel like without worrying about like, oh, is this on brand with the times? Like, is this trendy or whatever? Because whether if any of the content I made during this Inktober period is like popping off or not, I've had a lot of fun just rediscovering my enjoyment with ink. And because it's been such a nice time, I'm kind of like, why let that in just because the month is over? And maybe I can do some kind of Inktober tour. To be honest, I mostly want to do that as a throwback to my very first video, like almost 5 years ago. Which is crazy to say, goodness. But it'd be nice to see how I've grown, even if it's just a little bit in my art. Yeah. Depending on how, like, job search stuff goes, again, I really might just mess up my schedule and focus on working on my own project. Because I've been somewhat kind of doing that, but again, I keep trying to keep an eye on like my application status of multiple places and all that, because I do want to work, or mostly I do want like money for a stable life, should I say. I have no idea how long this character's hair is supposed to be. I feel like I'm just kind of making all this up on the spot and it's getting very chaotic. I think the reason why the whole fine liner thing throws me off to sketch with is because like it doesn't have the typical pinhead. I think if it did, I wouldn't even question using it to sketch. Do you guys have any specific art plans for the rest of the year? Because I know it might feel dramatic to say the rest of the year, but when I tell you Christmas is gonna be here in like 5 days, that's what it's gonna feel like. At least for me, I'm sure. Because this year went by faster than I could have even imagined. Why did I shape the hoodie so weirdly? Like, it looks so off compared to the reference. Oh no. Trying to get ahead on posting videos, because I mostly say that so that way, like, I feel like right now I'm putting a lot of my time into these videos, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, even though this isn't really my job right now. I just feel like I want to get to my own projects that, let's say, I'm not necessarily showing to anyone. It's more just for my own sake. Did my music stop? Hello? How rude. I'm using a YouTube playlist because if I was using my own Spotify, I probably would like never get anything done because I'd be dancing this entire time. Okay, this time around we're going to do the the little circles. So I don't think that's any better. I think that still feels very silly. It feels silly when I do it. Again, when other people do the circles for blush, it looks cute, but whenever I do it, it just feels silly. But yeah, Inktober will end. I need to finish my Persartify project so I can finally post it and you guys can see it. What else? I do want to like plan for updating my branding just a little bit on terms of like my profile pictures and etc, but maybe that can come another time. I also want to work on my OCs because I have a lot in mind for them as well. Mostly just trying to like plan out their lore, like, and getting stuff solidified so I can get started on character sheets. And then of course, working on my sketchbook. I don't know if I can get it completed before the end of the year, but we'll see. I'm not really giving myself too much pressure on it. I also want to see about getting a printer, so I can look into like stickers and prints, like making that from home, or at least just trying it out and seeing how that process goes. Because even though I know that there's manufacturers out there and stuff, I feel like if I do it on my own, I can sort of get a better idea of things first before I like fully dive into the whole manufacturers thing. I just really want to like understand the behind the scenes even better than I already do. Again, I feel like this is the thing with nibs compared to like actual pins. Is like nibs kind of, they just feel a little bit weaker than an actual pin for some reason. I don't know. I can't tell. I feel like I really want to like give her a hooded lids, but I don't know. There we go. Like a really subtle eyelids. I feel like I do those really simplified eyes whenever I'm drawing with pen only. There's not a sketch burst for some reason. I just always do those little like simplistic eyes. Will this be our final drawing? I feel like I'm okay with that. Like I feel like, again, I didn't really have a plan whenever I started filming this. Like I knew that I wanted to do at least one more part of the series where I just drew with like regular pens, but on terms of how I was gonna do that or what all of it was gonna entail, that was kind of just like up in the air. It's just because right now I was trying to draw without using any like pre-sketching or anything like that, so it takes a little bit more mental fortitude. But I think on terms of like planning out illustrations and stuff, I'm ready to go. Like I feel very inspired from the few Inktober drawings that I've done. That hair is kind of everything. Let's see. What do I want to do for here? Do I want the whole thing to be hot pink? I'm really not sure. I don't think I have many pink ink pens because I don't really like the pink that that Micron had. I thought it was going to be a little bit more like vibrant than that. And this is like a little bit too vibrant almost, so I do have the Pilot Juice in pink, just in case you were wondering. I don't think anybody was, but well, it's not too thick, I would say. It's fine. But I do kind of want to use this Bungo Stray Dogs pen. Just for the aesthetic. Let me see. The only thing is I think I'm running out of ink on the black one. It is a little bit thinner though, so I think I'll go with that, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what hairstyle I haven't done before in order to give bangs, because I feel like I do a lot of the same kind, but I'll just go with some typical kind. Or like a split in the middle or something, I don't know. Honestly, I think the more that you sketch with pen, the less phased you are by mistakes. That's another reason why it helps to just go for it in practice. My gosh, this pen is like literally running out on me. No, I need more black ink. You know what else I need ink for? The Friction Point Knock in black. That is completely dry, and I've never run out of like ink before in a pen. Like I have, but not from drawing. So that's iconic, especially in such a short period of time. I mean, that just goes to show how much I enjoyed using that pen, because I got it earlier this year. But yeah, if you guys have any pen recommendations, as always, feel free to let me know. I hope I have helped shed some light on some pens that you might be missing out on. It's always nice to find like a new product that you might really like to use. I also feel like the risk factor is what makes it so easy to like just doodle and have fun with it instead of like taking it super seriously. Because surely not all of your drawings need to be like top tier first place contest entry. Like, I don't think it needs to be all that. Now, I know I did a band-aid on the nose of the first girl, but I'm gonna do it again here because who's gonna stop me? Plus, I'll make this one a star, so it's fine. I've been very inspired from seeing a lot of people's art lately, and I just really want to keep that up. I just want to keep up drawing and getting back to illustrations, since after the one that I did of that one girl crying in space, I haven't really done much, at least digitally. I mean, I guess you could count my Inktober drawings as like illustrations, but just doing like things that I really get in my element with and like see myself enjoy. I want to get back to that. Continuing to practice line art, both digitally and traditionally, because I feel like I didn't do much of it digitally yet, but I do want to make sure that I practice line art digitally as well, because it's just really beneficial. Even if I don't always use line art in my art process, I think like it certainly can't hurt me by practicing more. I don't know how well this sketchbook paper takes like wet media. I don't imagine it takes it super well, although this is the same paper that I used for the snow moon Ari drawing. I think it takes it like okay, but like don't push it, which is a lot of the paper that I use. Kind of just making stuff up now, but what do you know? The face didn't come out too horrible. Again, I think it definitely helps to use hatching for like light shading. And it's a lot easier to do whenever the person that I'm drawing is like blown up larger on the page, because then the details actually can read as shading. Yeah, no, lots of fun with this. And again, I was worried that this spread wouldn't come out good because I did it like spur of the moment in real time. I feel like this is pretty accurate of how I would be drawing if I were using pen only and just doing studies. You guys are probably gonna get like hella videos all of a sudden. Because I think a part of me felt like I had slowed down more than I wanted to, but another part is just because I really enjoy October. Even outside of like Inktober, I just have always enjoyed this month. I remember last year I posted like perfectly each week, and that was whenever I was like about to go to Korea and Japan, so that's crazy. But I think I also wanted to do this like two-toned, kind of like I did this one. I'm just wondering, should I keep, like, should I have it pink too, or I feel like that might be fine. That, or I could try to use purple. Let me see. Now I have some. Do I have it in Pilot Juice? We're just gonna test swatch over here, it's fine. I think this is the purple that I was looking for as I'm drawing this Purple Rain. That's a Prince song, right? I highly recommend trying to cross over colors like this whenever using pen. It's so fun. It's such an emo looking spread, oh my gosh. Like, is this really just my aesthetic? And they call it a phase. I feel like it's definitely like a lifestyle at this point. Honestly, I miss my purple bangs that I had last year whenever I was traveling. It was so cool. I want to dye my hair so freaking badly, but alas, it's not professional, so until I can find somewhere to work that would be okay with that, I must refrain. There's a lot of colors that I'd like to dye my hair, and a lot of colors that I have dyed my hair, but I don't think I've ever fully dyed my entire head. Like in the past, it was mostly just me dyeing my bangs and then my extensions at the bottom. So I would really like to try dyeing my whole head once. Which I can't even really feel bad about because my hair has gotten longer, so even if I have to like cut it from like the bleach and all that, I'm sure it'd be fine. Because my hair is thick, so like I'm sure it'd be okay. Should I color the eyes too? Sure, it's like this. I knew I could count on you, Moji! But no dressing up for Halloween from me. I would love to, but like, with whose money and energy? Plus, it's not like I have anywhere to go. I would like to cosplay again. It's been like years, but I had a lot of fun whenever I did. I feel like for some reason, out of all the cosplays I could do, the one off the top of my head that I want to try is like Misa from Death Note, because she's just so iconic. Plus, I feel like a lot of her fashion aligns with mine anyways, so... are we done here? I feel like I'm literally just like adding in all kinds of like, I'm like stalling the video. Like, girl, please. We don't need high watch time. At least not this time around. I kind of want to add to this, but I know I shouldn't. Because I feel like it makes sense to have like these two, the colorful ones, and then like these two just stand on their own. It's a dangerous thing to start lettering when you're not even sure if you'll have enough space, but I don't know why I have such an addiction with making my E's look like they're backwards 3s. Because I feel like I don't normally do that, but whenever I go to like draw stylized letters, I always do, and it's very silly of me. I don't know where this obsession with ghost came from. I think it's because I too wish to be a ghost sometimes, just floating lifeless beyond people's existence for a little bit. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun just using inks a little bit more than usual. Again, I feel like one, drawing every day is something that I definitely want to continue to do just by habit. It's not necessarily something that I've done for the sake of a challenge. It's kind of just like a lifestyle thing, but that's not me like bragging and being like, oh my gosh guys, I always draw, because there's definitely days where it's like I go like a week without drawing because I'm so dead inside, but generally I do try to like keep a frequent amount of drawing. And as for using pen and inks, it does just become magically more fun around this time of year, but I do want to continue using it even outside of the month. Especially my water brushes, like using ink to color things instead of just lining or sketching. I feel like using ink as a color, it can be very pretty. The characteristics of ink is kind of weird though, but I guess you could say that's what makes it fun. I definitely want to get to using watercolors, and I also want to get into gouache. There's just always something to be done. But it's exciting, it's nice. I want to draw a black cat on here so badly, but I feel like it's gonna go very poorly. So, the only last thing that I will do is fill in this with this, which is, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it's called a karapo. It's from Kuretake. Basically, I just made my own ink brush because it gives you like 2 little empty cartridges for you to fill up, and so I filled it with purple ink because purple is my favorite color. You can see it's a brush pen, so it applies pretty smoothly. The series doesn't have to stop just because Inktober is over. In fact, I started the series before Inktober anyways, so but this is like the general like hardest mode, quote unquote, I could imagine for drawing with pen only, like typical pen. But there are some other pens that I would like to try for this series. I've learned a lot from this Inktober this time around. Like what kind of pens I like to use, what kind of techniques I like, what kind of aesthetic. There's still tons of aesthetics that I wanted to like play with a little bit more. I hope it was a nice chill time. And likely I've cut some segments out because I feel like that just makes the watching process easier. Because honestly, not everything that I say in like real-time drawing makes sense. And I'm sure it's fine for me to like stay quiet sometimes, but sometimes I stay too quiet. Is this bleeding on the other side? Oh, it's not. Nice. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. A lot more fun than I expected. Again, I started this expecting this page like to be a warm-up, but I kind of like how this is coming out. And me liking how this is coming out kind of makes me happy because I felt the same way about the Inktober drawings. And even though like neither this nor those were perfect, I feel like it's just nice to see myself like actually enjoy art without putting too much pressure on myself for things. I feel like it's really rare that I can say that I really like how my art came out or that I even had fun with something. But this time around I feel like, yeah, I haven't done a ton for Inktober this year, but with what I have, I feel quite pleased. Is there literally anything else to say? I don't think so. Not much has been going on. I already told y'all I made shrimp alfredo. What else is there to say? I guess pop culture wise, I have one season left of Attack on Titan that I'm gonna try to binge watch after I very much likely crash tomorrow. There's actually so many other anime that I was planning on either watching or rewatching this month. Again, I really like October, and because it's like a month with a strong aesthetic, I planned on watching a lot of different things to match it. I know I really wanted to watch Madoka Magica, like rewatch it, because I've watched it several times. I need to read the manga. I wanted to rewatch Chainsaw Man. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to rewatch, but I think like I want to get all like the intense kind of animes out the way. And then whenever it comes to like December, end of November, I'm gonna go back to like slice of life, chill stuff to watch. I should also watch like just regular TV shows for once, but like I don't really know what I'd be interested in, to be honest. And it's not like I have a subscription to anything. But if you have any recommendations for TV shows, let me know. It's the way it's hard for me to function on the idea of me like just letting the spread be. Like I'm like, I need to fill it with something. Alright, at most I'll just go over the background with this light blue. Nothing too serious. And if I see it start to mess up, then I'm simply going to refrain from adding any more. Because I don't want to ruin it, at least not too much. Yeah, for the most part, I try to get pens that can withstand both water and alcohol marker, just in case. Because there's no telling which one I will want to color the spread with. But this has been a fun time. I hope it's been a somewhat decent time for y'all watching. Or if you drew long, let me know how that went. I never know if people actually draw long. Like, do more people watch or do more people draw long? I feel like for me, I've been like, a lot of content that I put on is like, I put it on as background noise for me to draw along to. But I also want to like watch the video too, of course. It's kind of like a mixture of both. By the way, the water brush that I am using is one of the ones that I got from Daiso for like literally $2. It's freaking amazing. I've just filled it with blue ink, so that's why this is coming out like this, but it's really nice. I'm gonna draw a ghost here too, because who's gonna stop me? I really need to make a video about water brushes at some point, because they're so freaking fun. This little bunny's chilling here. Why is the bunny so cute? I think I mostly stopped putting content on in the background just to draw along to, because it's really hard for me to focus sometimes, so I had to like take a break and like use it as an excuse to listen to music again. But yeah, let me know how you feel about drawing with pen only and me doing this as a real-time video, I guess. I've literally run out of things to say, so I guess from here I'm just gonna, I mean, I'm almost done, so not really much else for me to say. Again, sorry if I was kind of like low energy this time around. I wish y'all the best with your drawings, whether if you're doing Inktober or not. I hope your art has been going well, or at least that you've been able to find some time to like work on stuff. Lastly, something that I do want to like genuinely work on as well is like lighting and values. There's so much that I want to work on. I don't even know why I keep like trying to say it or like pitch it in like this way of like, oh yeah, this would be cool. It's like I'm constantly thinking about this. I'm constantly wanting to work on stuff because it's just all so fun. There's so many things that I have yet to like study and get good at. So, but yeah, all in all, I had a fun time. So thank you guys for hanging out with me as I did this spread, and I hope you had a chill time as well, even if it was only just for a little bit. Thanks for watching me as always. It genuinely means so much. It's always bizarre to me that people actually want to see my content, so thank y'all. It looks like I am more or less done. Anyways, my goodness, this took so much longer than I expected. Especially for something spur of the moment, like what? Well, here we have it. This is the spread. This is where we are at. And I am ready to close this out. Again, sorry if I sounded like a little bit out of it and things like that. It's just been quite a time lately, but we're having fun with art, so we'll make it somehow. So that is all for today's video this time around. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed your time here today, you can let me know by leaving a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you are new, I am Rhea or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. While I do try to post weekly videos, if you would like more timely updates, you can probably just follow me here, because that's where I'm going to be posting the most. I did make a blue sky though, so we'll see. But until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and or week. Take care!